Can you guys believe that no one ever made a YouTube video about the official United States military rifle bore cleaner? No one ever made a video. Can you believe that, guys? There's so many videos on YouTube about rifle bore cleaning agents and oils, but nobody ever made a video about this. The official cleaning compound rifle bore MIL-C-372C Amendment 2, and this one is from November of 1991. 1 gallon, and I bought 1 gallon of it. And that is this. It has a diesel fuel smell to it. So how it all began. Prior to 1963, I believe, U.S. military had a cleaner that was a water-based, and it was a MIL-C-372A. So it had a glycol in it, so it wouldn't freeze. It had water, it had soap. And that's what they used to remove the corrosive salts from the primer residue inside a rifle bore. If you leave any of it, the bore will rust anyway. So they developed something 372B that is petroleum-based salt, and primary use was to clean the bore out of primer salts so it wouldn't rust. So that's this right here. This is the, I don't have the container for it, but this is the cleaner from 1964, and it's MIL-C-372B. This is the Army report in PDF format from 1971, and it explains what the 372B is and what 372 is. Right here. And I had it in this container, plastic container, for about 2 years, and that's the color of it. It's kind of like an apple juice. Then the military created this. Amendment 2. All that is they demanded that containers be different. So same formula, but AM2 is Amendment 2. It's just a container requirement for the same thing. So I had one of these that I used for a while, and I put in this glass jar to what's left of it. This so much, so I decided to buy another one. This one is from 1972. Same thing, 1972, and I think it oxidized a little bit. And you can see how it left the residue on the glass jar. Then I bought this a few days ago. It was all sealed and everything. This one is from 1975, and that's the color of it. It also has a diesel smell feel to it. The viscosity of it is almost like a water. Then I decided to buy one of these. This one is different though. This one is MIL-C-372C. They changed the formula of it for some reason. I don't know what the reason is, because I could not find a chemical compound of this 372B. This one is from this one was used from 1962 to 1982, something like that. This one. So this one was like a Vietnam War era rifle bore cleaner. So this is when we moved to 80s. This one is from December 1983, and I put one in the glass jar just to see how it is. Basically the same one as the old one. That's the color of the cleaner, and I put one, just to use because I shoot a lot of corrosive ammo. And look at the residue that's left on this plastic jar for some reason. I don't know why. But on this one from 1964, there's no residue, despite the fact that it sat for more time. So I don't know. Definitely the chemical composition of this is different a little bit. Probably they improved the cleaner to clean better and to reduce the toxicity. And it also left a little bit of residue on the bottom. Look at that. On this glass jar. Then we moved to the same thing, MIL-C-372C, but this one is Amendment 2. And the only thing the Amendment 2 is that the Army changed the way that the containers look like. Now they demand a plastic container with this kind of valve on the container. So again, the only thing the Amendment 2 is they're requiring a different container for this. And then this was used all the way until late 90s. Then it was discontinued. And then a CLP was used, because I guess after all that time, all the corrosive ammunition was depleted from the U.S. stockpile. We didn't use it anymore. But let's read one of these containers, what they say. On this one, there's nothing on the back. On this one, there's something on the back. Caution, petroleum distillate, keep away from children, of course. Don't swallow. Doesn't say much more than that. But then this one has more to it. First aid. Flashpoint only at 152 Fahrenheit. Basically, so you just leave this in a vehicle in a sunny day in Arizona or something, and you've reached the flash point for sure. Let me open this so you can see. It was all sealed and everything. It was all sealed. I had to pull the seal. There was like a steel seal, like a metal seal to it. And this was left outside in the rain. That's why it rusted. But let's read what it says right here. Hazards: irritating to mucous membranes, skin irritation, minor eye irritation, chronic hazards, central nervous system effects may include one or more of the following: headaches, dizziness, loss of appetite, weakness, loss of coordination. Affected person usually experience complete recovery when removed from the exposed areas. Target organs: skin, central nervous system, eye, respiratory tract, lungs if ingested. Handling: eye protection and gloves should be worn. I mean, it's ridiculous, you know. The soldiers are supposed to be using this in the field, you know, on their weapons. So you obviously gonna have eye protection, but what about the gloves? You're not gonna have the gloves all the time, you know. So caution: use only in ventilated areas, of course, outside. You can clean the rifle outside, you know, where you can see. Keep away from open flames, sparks. So it's flammable for sure. Don't let it drain down the sewer, you know. You don't want to contaminate the environment. Keep container closed or not in use, of course, because it's gonna evaporate. It's kind of like diesel fuel. It'll evaporate, and it'll leave a small film to it, like a WD-40, you know. It's not gonna completely evaporate. And then do not reuse container. I don't know why they say do not reuse container. Basically, they don't want any accidental people pouring in different chemicals in this and soldiers thinking something else. And then avoid prolonged or repeated breathing of vapors, fumes, and mist. Of course, you're not gonna be inhaling all that stuff. But then there's the ingredient, and this one we have the ingredients, you know. And so we got the kerosene. That's the kerosene is known to be a good solvent for the powder, you know, for the burn powder. We got the kerosene. We got the tall oil fatty acid. That is when it dries out, it leaves a film to protect against corrosion. Then we got sodium petroleum sulfonate. That's basically one of the acids, I believe, and that's probably the ingredient that bonds with salt ions and dissolves them or whatever. I don't know, I'm not sure, but basically they say the only thing that can dissolve salt is water, H2O. But the Army is claiming that this does the job. Then we got hydrogenated light naphtha. You know, that's basically, these two are just the same thing as diesel fuel, something similar to diesel fuel. That's why we get the diesel fuel smell of these cleaners. Look at that. And this one is really look like an apple juice. It's really clear. The viscosity of it is like an apple juice, you know. So that's gonna be it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I looked up the documents of these. And basically what the Army is saying that these cleaners, their primary use is to remove corrosive salts. And after this, the Army went woke. I believe they went woke. I mean, they try to reduce the hazardous materials, all the hazardous items out of the use, and they're introducing some biodegradable cleaning agents now. You know, it's like they're trying to reduce all the chemicals that actually work and introduce something that really doesn't work. So for the next experiment, I put small amount of MIL-C-372 from 1991. Now I'm going to add some table salt and see if it's going to dissolve any. I'm going to shake it a little bit and let it sit for like an hour, see if it's going to do anything to the salt. After half an hour, it seems like it's not doing anything. Salt is not dissolved at all. So, but the Army is claiming that it removes salt. I mean the corrosive salt from the bore. That's what you get. That's gonna be it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it. See you next time.